guys, welcome back to another episode of I'm With Her. Today we have a very, very special guest. We are honored to have the founder of the app RoamCircle for female solo travelers, a world traveler herself, and our 305 dime, Liz Rivas.
Hi, I'm so happy to be here, guys.
Hi, Liz.
So
I
happy to
am
have
so
you.
excited to get into your story. It's insane.
Yeah.
It's insane.
So-
like a very
So you slid into our DMs with something that actually had my jaw drop. So I'm so excited to get into all of that. But what actually had us connect was a beach cleanup post, which I love that we related on that right away. So you
Yes.
slid into our DMs talking about like the Miami beach cleanup that you're usually into. So tell us a little bit more about yourself. We want to get into all the things, all the story times.
I don't even know where to start. Well, I mean, I moved to Miami 5 years ago. I'm originally from New York. My family's from the Dominican Republic. And basically, I am a world traveler, tech girly, silly goose. I'm all the things.
We love that. So we want to hear a little bit more about how you got into your relationship and how that kind of, transitioned everything for you.
Yeah, so basically, long story short, because I never want to talk too much about an ex, but
Of course.
basically in New York back in 2020, I met somebody, we ended up moving to Miami together, and all the things, we ended up getting engaged and having a wedding. Unfortunately, my partner was dealing with addiction for basically his entire life and was sober for about 9 months before the wedding. And unfortunately, at the wedding, at the altar, was completely relapsed on drugs and alcohol. Completely, holding on to the altar, drooling, eyes bloodshot. And as anybody who's ever dealt with anybody that has addiction, or every woman dreams about that moment, her wedding, who's gonna be there, the altar, all these things that society tells you that it's just this is gonna be a fairy tale. And it was honestly the worst day of my life, because I saw him from afar. I'm like, oh my God, he's definitely, effed up. But then it's you have to go through the motions. There's 100 people there. Everybody's looking at you. And thank God for Botox. And everybody's like, oh, you didn't even look mad. I'm like, this shit was laid. But, you have to go through the motions. And then walking down the aisle, I'm like, we practiced our dip kiss. And he dropped me in the sand.
Oh, my goodness.
In my $3,000 dress.
Oh, my goodness.
And, then we have to do the pictures and everything. And I'm just like, what the hell? What is going on right now? And then I hear, when I'm standing at the altar, I hear my best friend behind me, literally crying. She's like, oh my God, he's fucked up.
oh my God.
Yeah,
Wow.
and then the reception was even more fun, because instead of a best man, he had a best woman, and it was his best friend. It was his best friend from elementary school.
Wow.
She gets on the mic, and she is just as effed up as he was.
Wow.
And I'm like, oh, now this makes sense. Because all his groomsmen were coming up to me and apologizing, it wasn't us, we swear to God.
Oh
and
my
they were sober. And then, and then she gets on the mic, and then she goes, we had a pact, if we weren't married by 35, we would marry each other. And I'm just sitting there, everybody's looking at me, and I'm just like, okay, this is insane.
Right.
This is crazy. But also when you're going through it, it's you're frozen. You're just going through the motions. I'm like, I had a good ass time at my party. I planned this party. I'm on the dance floor. I'm busting it down. I'm like, and then everyone's like, oh, great. She's not mad at all. Boom, we get on the plane, and on the way back to Miami, because this was in Dominican Republic, I'm like, I can't do this. My whole body, because we didn't sign any paperwork, so I'm like, you know what?
Wow.
Because we were gonna do it when we got back to Miami, and I'm just like, literally looking at the plane coming down, I'm like, I can't do this. This isn't my life. This is
That's the moment you realized? Or did it hit you when you were walking down the aisle, or when you realized he relapsed?
It hit me, honestly, when I was coming back home, because I read my vows, and I'm like, I come from a traditional family, when it's just the thing that you do is you're in your 30s, all your friends are getting married,
Right.
you're supposed to get married,
Right.
this is what you're supposed to do. But I'm like, you know what? No, I don't want to do that. I don't want to be with somebody. If you can't show up for me on the most important
Right.
day of our lives, you can't show up for me as a husband or a father.
Right.
And I'm like, I have to show up for myself. So
100%.
honestly, like it wasn't easy, but I packed all my stuff and I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna start over. You know, starting over at 33 in Miami, I'm just like, damn, like this
Yeah.
dating pool is a hot mess.
Of
I'm like, I thought I had my person, I had the thing, I had the, you know, all the aesthetic engagement and
Right.
visa, like I had everything that I thought that I wanted.
Right.
But then I'm like, no, like I have to choose myself. And basically then I spent all of 2025 solo traveling and digital nomading and just, you know, like healing through movement because that's
Yeah.
how I heal. And that's basically kind of led me to, you know, building my app. But it basically came from being alone a lot of the time, being super lonely, eating dinner by myself, going to party by myself. Like
Yeah.
I love to party by myself. Like
Yeah.
I don't
Oh my
give
God,
up.
so
Like,
fun.
Me and me.
yeah, like I
Going
love a good solo mission. Like I
Mm-hmm.
had so much fun, but yes, it gets very lonely. And then there's these dating apps, there's Facebook groups, there's WhatsApp groups, there's all these like meetup, all these random things. But I'm like, there has to be an app for like women that are solo traveling or digital nomading or like even new in like a city. Like there's a Bumble BFF, but it's really not what I was looking for. So I'm like, let me keep looking. And I found out that it didn't exist.
Yeah.
So I'm like, let me create it.
Yeah, you tapped right into that market.
Okay, I want to kind of dive in a little deeper for some of this. You mentioned a few things that really stuck out to me. The loneliness. Were you experiencing the loneliness in your relationship already?
Yes.
So that was
yeah.
familiar.
Yeah, because also when you deal with somebody that has addiction, they also have that comes from mental illness as well,
Right.
and they deal with depression and anxiety, and I have to be hyper vigilant. And women, like we are already so intuitive. We are already so like we always read the room.
Yep.
We're always reading emotions, and it was very exhausting a lot of the time
Yeah.
because I'm just like, is he having a bad day today? Is he doing this? And then I'm like, I have to be so hyper vigilant of my emotions to keep the house,
Regulated.
regulated.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I'm regulating my own emotions and I'm also regulating his emotions too. And it was to the point that it was honestly very exhausting because I'm like, I want to be baby girl. I could be daddy, but we can all be daddy. But I want to be baby girl. And like, if you're baby girl and I'm baby girl, then who's flying this plane?
Driving this
Who's
bus.
landing this plane? We're both sitting shotgun.
I'm like,
Gonna drive itself.
This is not a self-driving vehicle.
I want to also ask you if, to the degree of which you're comfortable going into it. There's actually, it's funny enough, there's an addiction podcast that I absolutely love. It's called Rise Above with Kevin Laning, I think. Anyways, he talks a lot about addiction and that POV of people who've been through it or their loved ones. Is there anything because I'm sure there are a lot of people who are obviously the partner of somebody dealing, or even a friend of somebody with addiction. How did you navigate that, or how did you not navigate it?
I mean, that's the thing is I decided that I just couldn't anymore. It takes a lot of mental bandwidth because it's like I'm going to bed, early, like I'm going to the gym in the morning, and it's like he's doing whatever at night.
Sorry to interrupt you. What point did you learn about his addiction?
Honestly, when we first started dating, it was actually one of the first things that he told me is that he suffered from XYZ, but then that he was clean from that.
Yeah.
But that's like sometimes a thing with addiction. If it's not one thing, it kind of transfers to another because it's like you need an outlet. And I should have kind of taken that as like a red flag, but also like I'm a lover girl. I'm just like we met and we had an amazing relationship and a friendship, and like we met in 2020, like we were kind of like cooped up, and I'm like, like he treated me incredible.
Yeah.
And he was a wonderful person, and that's the thing about people that have addiction and anybody who's around people with addiction is that they're wonderful people most of the time. And it's like when this, when they call alcohol, they call it spirits sometimes for a reason, because it's like turns into a completely different person. And I just, was dealing with it. I'm just like, okay, like let's try to get help. Let's do healthy things together. Let's, but also it's Miami. Like, I love to party, I love to go
Yeah.
out, and it's just like, then we have our group of friends that like, we're going out, we're, at the afters,
Yeah,
like
so
afters,
the environment.
and it's like, okay, like he's good today, like it's okay, he can handle a little bit of this, but then it's like sometimes even like the random times, like it wouldn't be like we could party all night, go to space, and sometimes it would be fine. But then some days it'll be like, oh, it's the middle of a work week and I notice that you're drunk and you're in a bad mood. And I'm like, ooh, okay. I'm just like, damn, like, so it was always very unpredictable. And my nervous system was always on high alert.
Yeah.
And that's like, I just realized that I don't want to regulate someone else's emotions. And that's like the thing is, a lot of people, they're comfortable dealing with a partner that has addiction because, they're wonderful people. But,
Of course,
like I'm a good person, but I'm not ever going to self-sacrifice. And I don't think any woman should ever self-sacrifice for anybody unless it's like their kids.
Yeah, right.
Of course.
Unless you've made a choice to be a mother in that scenario. So fair.
Yeah.
Okay, talk to me about the traveler of it all. What is a digital nomad? Don't even know. I don't even know.
Basically, digital nomad is somebody who works remote and can work from anywhere. And it honestly really took off in 2020 when remote work was just like everybody's on their laptops. And I'm like, I'm not going to be at my house. Like, I'm going to be in Costa Rica. I'm going to be in Lisbon. I'm going to be doing all these things. It's hard because I have rent to pay, and I'm also, staying at all these places and all this stuff. But it's just, it was super fun for me to do last year because actually me and my ex, when we were going to do our honeymoon, we were actually going to be like, hey, let's get rid of our apartment and just travel for like 6 months, like as our honeymoon. And I'm just like, I still want to do that. So I'm still going to do it.
Exactly.
Right. No, it's your honeymoon.
Yeah. I'm like, I had a blast.
Yeah.
No, I love that. And it's like you chose yourself. I think that's correct.
Something
and
that I
beautiful.
feel like we talk about a lot is like healing is hot. So I feel like the most hot girl thing you could do is just up and leave, solo travel. Tell us about like some of your standout moments from traveling.
Yeah, so honestly, it started this time last year. I went to Costa Rica, and I stayed in this like beautiful bungalow in like Santa Teresa. Like it was just, hearing like the howler monkeys at night and the crickets and the birds. And I'm like, this is healing. This is how you heal. It's like women, like we are tribal. Like we heal in the jungle. Like that was like how I first started my year. And then my job sent me over to Berlin for a conference, and I'm like, I'm gonna stay there for 3 weeks. So I went for a week in Berlin and just basically went to Prague, Vienna, Budapest, like just kind of taking, going around. But honestly, one of my favorite moments was Berlin because Berlin is a very unique city. I'm a New Yorker, so I'm like, I love like the grittiness and the grunginess of it and like the music scene. And also as like somebody who's solo, you would go to these parties and it's like everybody, you're not allowed to have your phone on the dance floor. Like people are very, very present on the dance floor. And a lot of people are also by themselves, which is one of the coolest things that I noticed in Berlin is just like people, like they're not in crowds, they're not in cliques. Like people are like, we're on the dance floor, we're healing, we're shaking our ass.
Yeah,
and
I love that.
Yeah, and that's like, that was one of the best moments for me traveling. And then spent a lot of time in Lisbon, a lot of time in Mexico City. But, fun fact, my Amex cut me off because they're just like, you had a lot of fun last year. Like, you got to pay us, though. And I'm like, I didn't think I had to pay if I'm just, like, good vibes. Like,
Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, like, you don't have to pay, like, if you're nice and good vibes.
Yeah, no, I'm not like other girls.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm cool. I'm like, I'm super laid back.
Yeah, it's for a good cause.
But I was like, oh, yeah, no, you can't do that.
Oh, my gosh.
Actually really funny.
That's
Okay,
so
so when I
real.
hear like solo traveling, to me that's like a fantasy in the sense that immediately I go to that's not even an option for me because I'm a woman, and like how am I going to navigate the safety of it all, or be able to be present, enjoy myself without feeling like I'm constantly looking or needing to be extra vigilant and stuff. So
Yeah.
like how did you tackle the safety of it all?
To be honest, it's important to also do your research and search for places that are safe for women to be traveling solo. For instance, Lisbon, Portugal is one of the most female-friendly countries, I mean, cities, but like the men there they don't catcall, like it's just a very respectful culture. And it's like a lot of female solo travelers, expats, digital nomads, so it's like very women-centric. And also like they're I don't know, like if you're into like astrology and whatever, but like it sits on like the Venus line
No
of
way.
like the heart chakra. So it is such a like a loving city.
Yeah.
So like that I went there maybe 4 times last year and like made such an amazing community there. But yeah, maybe don't travel to India because that's not
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
great place for women to travel
Yeah.
solo, or even, it's Mexico City, even though like you're like, oh, Mexico's dangerous. Like Mexico City's very, very nice. Like
Yeah.
they've been lying to everybody.
Yeah.
Like it's like cleaner than New York City, and
Wow.
also like, a lot of trees, a lot of solo travelers. So
Yeah.
the number one thing is do your research, know where you're staying,
Yeah.
make sure that you know how to navigate Google Maps, and
That's I could do it all until we got there.
I'm done.
Now I'm good.
No, I'm not qualified
Landmarks,
for that
look
job,
around.
actually.
Yeah, just, honest, be aware of your surroundings. Like, don't be, crazy, but also, like, tell your friends where you're going,
Yeah.
put your location.
Yeah.
It's really not that scary. And I think one of the largest demographics of travelers right now is female solo travelers.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
because
so fun.
That man wasn't taking them.
Yep,
Exactly. I'm gonna go
Amex
anyway.
is giving me a flute out right now.
Yeah, like I'm fluing at myself.
Wait, I want to know because you mentioned it. I am also like into just like the cosmos and that kind of stuff. What is your star sign?
I'm a Cancer and Sagittarius moon and rising.
Oh wow!
So very Sagittarius is very expansive and adventurous, and like the Cancer is like very like warm and home oriented, and that's why I'm like, okay, like what are the things that I love the most? It's like bringing people together, like
Yeah.
I'm as a Cancer, and then traveling, and I'm like,
Yeah.
hello, like the
Yeah.
perfect business.
How was it? Okay, so I'm somebody who like where I can like really reset and regulate my nervous system is my home base. Like just like my space needs to be comfortable and cozy and like really be my sanctuary. I'm a Taurus, if that wasn't obvious based off of that. So how did you and 'cause I genuinely, I want to know how to do this, is how do you make yourself your home?
Ooh, that's a good question.
That's a really good question. I mean, the most important relationship that anybody will ever have is the relationship that you have with yourself.
100%.
And sometimes it takes sitting with your demons and
Yeah.
actually like looking yourself in the mirror and having tough conversations with yourself
Yeah.
and seeing like, hey, where can I be better? I think also fitness and exercise is the
100%.
number one thing that anybody can do to regulate their nervous system.
Yeah.
Because it's like the one thing that they say, it's like in order to calm the mind, you have to exhaust the body.
Yeah.
And that's, I think, super important. Having a strong spiritual practice. Like I'm so into meditation and Kundalini and like and like being in touch with myself and like listening to my cycle. Like I don't work on my period. Like
Yeah.
I'm home.
Yeah.
I don't want anybody in my house. I
Yeah.
don't want to bother.
It's so
like
smart.
listening to your luteal phase. It's just like, oh, okay. Like maybe I shouldn't kill myself this week.
Literally, yeah. I'm like, is it my period or am I depressed?
Yeah, your
Like,
luteal phase is like everybody hates you.
Yeah.
yes, you hate you.
Yeah. But then ovulation, I'm just like, yes, like, I'm spreading the joy. So it's like listening to your body and, like just being unapologetically yourself. Because
Yeah.
it's like when you are in your authentic energy, everything around you is in flow state. And I've been
Yeah.
like the most in flow state that I've ever been in my life.
Yeah.
But I also had to, like realize like what was dysregulating my nervous
Right.
system, which is unfortunately has been men.
Yeah.
Because I'm as a Cancer, like I'm the biggest lover girl, and it's like I've like any time I love somebody, I put them on this pedestal,
Of
and
course,
it's just like
yeah.
then I put myself second seat. But it's like the number one way to just regulate and really love yourself is to put that lover girl energy into yourself
Yeah.
and pour into yourself.
Yeah.
I feel like when we were on the call, we talked about divine timing and kind of how when you're all aligned with everything else, kind of how the right people find you and the right energy finds you. So I'm glad that like in your flow state right now, it seems like that's how everything is.
It really is.
Yeah. That's very special.
I feel like we've been tapping into that too, is the people, like since we committed to following our dreams
Yeah.
and just like going all in. Also, I'm sure Amex is going to call us soon at some point. Say,
Don't
please
answer.
stop.
Just- they don't-
Lose my number.
Yeah.
Don't, please. But the divine timing of it all, we've definitely noticed, and we take time to like express our gratitude that I don't think it's a coincidence that the connection happened.
Right.
And being like-minded people and like-souled people.
Yeah.
Especially with like a woman's intuition, like you just know, like there's a different type of level of like communication. It is that like once you tap into the vibrations, you can really get a sense of a person, and you know when you connect with. So I think that's been just like really encouraging and really reassuring that we're being aligned with those people and
Yeah.
the timing of everything, and that you found us and we can, share your story too.
Yeah. It just feels like we're doing all the right things
Yeah.
here.
Yes, and that's so important.
So talk to us about RoamCircle. Give us the
Yeah.
lowdown.
Yeah, so basically I started in August. I was on my way to Lisbon, Portugal, and kind of as I mentioned, like, when you're solo traveling, there's all these kind of different communities. There's Facebook groups, there's WhatsApp groups, there's, all these kind of fragmented different communities, but there's not one centralized place for a woman that's solo traveling and looking for community and all of that. And I'm literally at the airport about to go to Portugal, and I'm just like, how am I gonna make friends? Like, I know a couple people there, but I'm like, oh, like there has to be an app for this. I'm like, searching, and I'm like, there isn't. And then I had I don't know if you guys seen That's So Raven, when she has the visions.
Yes.
Like,
Did you watch That's So Raven?
Yes.
that's how
Okay.
it felt when I was like,
I made it there.
oh my God.
yeah,
I felt it in my entire body that this was something that I needed to create. And I never felt that. I never thought I was an
Yeah.
entrepreneur. I never was, I never was a boss babe. I never had that. And then one day I'm just literally at the airport and I'm like, oh my God, this is my idea to create. I asked ChatGPT, I'm like, all right, I want to create an app. And I'm asking all the questions. I'm like, within half an hour, I had the name RoamCircle, I had the Instagram, I had an LLC, I had the web page. I'm on the plane the whole time, thinking about the business plan.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, okay, now how do I create an app? So hey ChatGPT, how do I create an app? I vibe coded it. Long story short, eventually found a really, really good developer to help me bring the vision to life, because I'm not a technical person.
Right.
So I just honestly went all in, and from the day that I had the idea, 90 days, I had the app out on the App Store and on Google Play. Now it's live across 12 cities,
Wow.
from Mexico City to Barcelona to
Wow.
Dubai, Paris. It's, I haven't made a penny yet, but but it's I basically kind of created the infrastructure, the plan, the partnerships, and all of that. And then now I'm in the process of getting investors and getting conversations and talking about the energy. I basically had a whole roster of women investors and advisors that I wanted to work with. And in January, was sending a bunch of messages. And then last week, I actually had a woman reach out to me that I messaged her. And then she's like, hey, I just saw your message. I'm open to chatting. And then I was like, oh my God, it's actually happening.
Yeah.
And I talked to her, and she was just like, I don't usually answer LinkedIn messages. She's just like, I just saw you. I knew my intuition told me to speak to you.
Yeah.
Wow.
And she was just like, I connected with your energy, and I could tell from speaking to you that you did everything yourself and you built this by
Yeah.
yourself.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
was like, oh my God, wow. So that's kind of where I'm at now. It's been about 6 months.
Yeah.
So I'm finally a pre-seed corporate entity, and I'm just
Wow.
damn. I'm I don't even
How'd you get here?
No, sometimes I think I'm on the mic, I'm like, who let me do this?
you can do, and that's
It's like an out-of-body
Yes.
experience.
And that's the cool thing is you can literally create your reality. When you see people doing things and you're just like, oh my God, I wish I could do that. Yes, you can. You literally can do whatever you put your mind to, and it's just just trusting yourself.
Yeah.
And entrepreneurship, you guys understand, it is the biggest exercise in self-trust.
100%.
No, my hands are sweating. Literally already. Yeah. No, we
Yeah.
also have made 0 pennies.
Yeah.
0 penny. Am I more broke? Absolutely. But am I more happy?
You're
than I
rich in
was?
spirit,
No,
yes.
it's
Yeah. And then do you ever deal with imposter syndrome? Because I feel like as we're building a community and realizing
Yeah.
that people connect with what we're talking about, or just the brand itself,
Yeah.
do you ever sit back and how, what?
I don't know, because long story short, I've been in corporate my whole career. got an MBA in marketing, and I've been like in the corporate B2B SaaS world, and that's where I feel imposter syndrome, because I lie on every single damn resume that I pull up on some real crazy, and like I'm sitting in rooms with VPs and just like literally talking out my butt, like I don't feel, I'm so grateful for my career, because it's helping me put money into my app and like live a good life and, have a nice apartment. But it's like, that's not me. And I've been playing a role. And it's like, when you're doing something that is not aligned, it is draining.
Yeah.
But when
Yes.
you are doing something that is fully aligned, you are energized. So it's like, even if
Yes.
you're not
Yes.
making money, like the energy that you're putting into it, it's giving you energy back.
100%.
Yeah.
We talk about this all the time. When we sit down and we like brainstorm or do our stuff about the podcast, we are so excited and look forward to it. We could be the same task that I don't want to do that takes just as much time, and I am dragging my feet the
We're
entire
up till
time.
like 2 a.m. just going over a pod, because once we get into a flow state, and it is really fun, and being able to just be anchored in like the creativity and just knowing our why, and like obviously sharing that passion. My sister would always like, because her and I are both very spiritual. And it's just like understanding how it feels when the universe is meeting you with resistance on something. And like for me, I can tell just by the way like
It makes your body
here.
feel.
Yeah, like I can see like basically I'm like, am I gonna start to cry? Then maybe that's not for me. And then versus where it feels correct and aligned, and it's for so long I didn't know, and I feel like it's just so hard to teach, or people maybe have, because you just really need to spend time with yourself and do the shadow work, and you kind of need to like crash out or just really get into like the guts, like into who you are, what your trauma is, or your what's your point of view. And clearly you found that, and that's just so amazing. You are so impressive, and based off what you're saying, like it doesn't even like, it's not even like shocking that you did all of that in 90 days. Like that is an incredible, like shocking thing to accomplish. But of course you did it. Of course you did.
Yeah, well, that's like what you were saying too, is like that flow state, like the creative process. Like women, we are so creative, and it's like we're literally like the channel between like life and death. Like and also creativity and birthing. It's not only about like birthing babies. Like we have the power and to create anything that we and like even like relationships and things like that, like men love the feminine energy because it is so powerful, and it's just like when we pour that into something that we love, like it multiplies more than anything that you could possibly do.
I think that is just like so. See, I really connect with that too. There's 2 points I wanted to make. First, on like the cosmic side, what you just said, the birth of it all, and like there's so many different levels that you can connect that with, is your surroundings, but also within you. And so, because before you said it was, what city was it that laid kind of on the Venus line?
Lisbon, Portugal.
See, I have to go there now. After the studio day, I'm calling my sister and being like, guess what? Did you know this? Like, we have to go. And it's great too, because what you were saying, and something I really connect with, is the work of art by Botticelli, The Birth of Venus. That was like the only time ever in my life I've seen a work of art and I felt like really emotional and really connected with, and like the birth of like everything that symbolizes and like it is a femininity and self-expression and creativity and sexuality, and that I actually have a tattoo for it. I had it created. I don't know if you can see it on my arm here. It's here, I swear. So I just did my version. This is the symbol for Venus, and then this is obviously the shell from and I got to see the painting in person, and just like all of those points you made, I just feel like, yeah, that's completely what I identify with, and like what is the human experience, but like the the female feminine experience. And there was one of your videos we watched last night that really stuck with me. I feel like there was like a couple quotes, but the feeling safe and feeling seen. And I really connected with that. And you've taken that message within yourself to make yourself feel seen, and then with the app. And like that is what alignment is. Like that really, that is alignment. That is what you are, alignment.
Yeah.
Your chakras must be real, real good. They're bright.
Yeah, I spend so much time regulating my emotions. Like I have a, like I spend so much time like at the gym, meditating, working, and also pouring into my friends and like my female friendships. Like
Yes.
I am so grateful for all like the women in my life. Like we honestly, like whenever we pull up to each other's houses, we bring flowers. Like I treat my girls so well, and they treat me so well. And I also like love bringing women together and friends. Like obviously that's literally the entire purpose of my app, is building community and making women feel seen and supported. Like I don't care like if any type of women, like especially in Miami where things could be like, oh, if you're not this aesthetic or blah blah blah. Like no, I like every type of woman. I like crazy girls, I like big girls, I like every color, I like every nationality. I love like, and it's like bringing women together in that tribalness of it all is also, I feel, why I feel so in that flow state, because it's like just what I'm surrounding myself with is just aligned, beautiful women. And also like, if a woman like maybe is kind of like unsure of herself, I'm like, no girl, you could do it.
Right,
Like, oh yeah, I can. I'm like, yes.
You're like, I did it.
Yeah. What has been like the most rewarding part of your app so far, with the community you've created and the women that you've like interacted with?
Honestly, I think it's just been the fact that people just get it. I haven't it's not like, oh, I have to like pitch my thing. It's just like I immediately tell somebody what it is, they get it, and they want to be part of it. And it's like, that's how you know that it's like very heart-led. And also like when this investor spoke to me last week, and she was just like, I see what you're building, and you're building it with a lot of authenticity and like a lot of intention. And that's been the best part of it too, but also kind of like, like I don't work when I'm on my period or I'm tired. I'm like, this is a girl business. Like I pour love into it. So it's like anything that you pour yourself into and you pour love into, that it comes back, and like the universe meets you halfway. And I've been working my ass off, but I've been seeing the fruits of my labor, so that's been great. Like obviously, I'd like to see a little money, but like
right, no.
I'm getting paid in other ways and opportunities, and like the rooms that I'm in, like the connections and the networking, and I'm just like, my network has grown so much in the last 6 months of amazing people, like, and also like women that are also very like spiritual women too. Like it's like no like weird energy. It's like, that's how you know that it's something that's divinely aligned, when it's like the people that I'm connecting with are also just beautiful, divine women. It's amazing.
Like your souls are made of the same, like the same thing. And like, I think that also goes to, maybe you've spent like previous lives together. Like that's just like the people you connect with. They're it's like
soul fam.
Like,
I've been meeting so many people that I'm just like, oh.
No, I know. And you're like, I'm in love with you, and you don't even know it yet. And you're gonna love me too in a second. But maybe it sounds a little like corny or whatever, but like with your tribe, like, but I love my tribe. Just to expand that village, I feel more seen by women like you, just from you in this moment, than I did in the corporate world with hundreds of people.
Yep. Yeah, because corporate, everybody's wearing a mask. And that's like the thing too. It's just like, we are all going to die, you know? And it's like, it's not even, like, you see what's happening out there in the world, and all the war and all the famine and all like the darkness. And it's like, why can't we not make our life the best life that we can make? Because it's like, it's over like this. So it's like, why not live in your purpose? Why not do what makes you passionate? Like, why not pour into yourself and pour onto others, and, spread joy and be that light for people? Because then it allows other people to be like, wait a minute, I can do it too. Then that person's creating light for other people. And then I think that's how we heal the world, is just honestly just like being just so into our purpose, and just like, it's okay to be a good person and to be nice. Like that's totally fine.
In fact, it's really sexy. And you feel amazing, and you're a winner. It's beautiful.
Yeah, wow. I think a lot of what I see now too, which I feel like we do a really good job at, when people are like creating brands or things like that, it's kind of more like the founder facing, and I feel like because you get to share so much authentic parts of yourself, people connect with that so much more. So rather than just like putting an app out there on the market, what I really liked about your social media is like you sharing every bit of what led you to where you were or where you got. And
Yeah,
that
I
part.
mean, that's the thing. Content creation is so like, it's literally like you're whoring yourself out to the world. It's so, and I'm like, I always, like I like, I'm consuming content all the time, and it's just like, wow, like all these people like are doing it and they're being so like real and stuff. Like I could never do that, but I'm like, you got to.
Yeah.
You have to. Especially in a world of so much AI when nobody knows what's real anymore. Like real is being raw, is being unfiltered. It's, being a little messy, being a little crazy. 'Cause
Yeah.
it's like people, you can create a ton of content with AI chat, like all this static stuff and all these AI twins. Like, I do, if I don't have time to do a lot of content all the time.
Yeah.
Like sometimes, obviously take that road, but it's like allowing yourself to be seen because it allows other people to be like, oh, okay, like I can be seen too. Like I can be weird and that's okay. Like I don't have to wear a mask anymore.
Yeah, I think people crave that connection too.
What were you saying last night about the AI of it all? We were talking about it because obviously we use AI to help with our stuff too. And
Oh.
before we get into how bad it is for the planet, blah, 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 blah.
I think that's just what we were talking about. I was just
the
saying.
major corporations, like me, what am I going to do? I stop using it.
No, I know. I was just gonna say we've chosen our battles.
No, right.
We've chosen our causes, not everything. We can.
No, right. And I think too, the good point you're making is like, to some degree, and I hope this like theory or whatever it is, this feeling continues into like the digital side. But have you ever heard of the uncanny valley? From my understanding, it basically explains like, as human beings, we will always, because of our like ancestral, like, or the way we're made up, can look at a humanoid or so that, and you know, like there's something always off. Like you're gonna, when it's AI, or
Like you can identify when something's like not human.
And
Yeah.
also, I'm a fan of AI. I don't think, especially like it for building a business, building a brand, like it's so much easier and so much faster. Like use it. Honestly, like yes, like environment, blah, blah, blah. But like, like there's other things that you can do to help, like obviously you guys clean the beach. We do that too. And like do also be a nice person.
Yeah.
Like, like I'm volunteering at a women's shelter. Like, it's
Yeah.
just like doing
That's fun.
doing what you can, but also like use the tools that you have. Cause it's like, millionaires and billionaires are taking shortcuts. So like, why not us? you know?
Yeah, no, and I love the charity. That's something we've committed to and have really started to like dip our feet in, is just being more, volunteering more, being more active in the community and prioritizing it.
It
more,
feels
'cause
so good.
It does, and
too.
it just, you care. And I was listening to a podcast once and basically saying like, you don't have to wait until you're rich to be charitable. And that's obviously not by just like giving money, but like
Showing up.
being, like so many people are just in need and like
Yeah,
just like
and
showing
also,
up for people.
time is the most valuable currency that you have. If you are volunteering your time, that is literally the best thing that you can do. Because anybody can throw money at a problem.
Right.
But you actually getting your feet dirty, literally cleaning garbage and, actually going out there in the community. Because then also other people see and they're like, oh, like I can do that too. Like, and then, because I'm always doing these beach cleanups and people are always like, oh man, I love that you do that. Like, let me know when you go to the next one. Just go.
Yeah.
Don't like, you don't need me to be there. Like, just go.
Yeah.
I think like obviously other than like cleaning the beach, which we both really care about the environment, especially like South Florida girls and like conservation and stuff. There was a part of the beach cleanup that was also like, I realized afterwards, very therapeutic, because I ended up walking in one direction down the beach and I just kept going. So I was like by myself for a good chunk because we were spread out. And I just really enjoyed that time with myself. And just, there was something about just that kind of like mundane or just like very simple task that was.
I have ADHD. I
No, I was
love
gonna say
little
it was
tasks.
good for whatever like version of like
Therapy or
autism I have or like whatever with my own mental, like it really just helped the stimulation level. And so like you even get something out of it too.
Yeah.
Interesting point that you were saying about men and femininity. That's something that is in the basis of like our lifestyle brand and stuff. And it's not, maybe moving away from the toxic masculinity term, but just like embracing the femininity. So what have you noticed, or what would you say on that topic?
Honestly, I was in my masculine for so long when I was obviously dealing with a partner that, had me in my masculine. And I like sometimes when he would argue with me, he would be like, oh, like you're so masculine and blah, blah, blah. Like to try to bring me down a notch and like kind of, I'm like, yeah, like, cause you have me in that energy, and just being around more women and just taking care of myself, prioritizing myself, I was able to start to heal my femininity. And I'm just like, I notice when I'm in my feminine energy, like things are flowing in a nice way. People are nicer to me. Things are, especially in Miami, I'm just like, people are buying me drinks. I'm like, I'm like, I'm just like things are flowing very nicely. And when I'm in my masculine energy, it's just like, you're just like your beat, like women, like women, we can do everything,
right.
And sometimes we do it better than men,
right?
But we don't want to do everything all the time.
And that's why I'm just like, all right, like I'm gonna have a developer make my app. Like that's like I don't want to do that. Like I want to do the marketing. I want to do the fun stuff. I want to do like like the stuff that I know that I'm good at, the creative process. Like that's my feminine energy. And also like if I, as I mentioned, like if I don't feel good, like I'm not working, because it's like women, the energy that we put out in any way, like it multiplies. So it's like if I'm in a bad mood, if I'm this, like I'm not working on RoamCircle. Like all the energy that I put on it is like my highest energy.
Yes.
But yeah, I just think it's just so important to allow yourself to receive. I have always had problems with that, or like receiving a compliment, and just like if someone says something nice and they're just like, oh, like your nails, and I'm like, oh, I gotta get them done. I'm like, I got the nail cleavage. Like I'll just say like, I'm like, like don't compliment, but I'm like, no, like just receive the compliment, just take it, just stop deflecting. Or like if somebody is like, oh, like is that too much trouble? Like no, of course I deserve it.
Right.
Trouble yourself for me.
Do you know any ways that men who are very masculine can tap into their feminine energy, or like, well, how would you recommend,
So the thing is that I feel like if a man is very masculine, he's also very comfortable with his feminine energy. Because I think the most masculine thing a man can do is be self-aware. And it's people think this masculinity is this and macho and that. Like that's actually a wounded masculine. A divine masculine man is able to experience all spectrum of emotion. Allows himself to be soft, allows himself to be, but also know when his woman needs him, and knows, intuitively. And that's like the thing. I know there's a lot of good men out there, still looking for them. That's
what I hear.
I heard they're somewhere. They're not in Miami though. I don't know.
They're somewhere.
I looked everywhere.
So save yourself the time.
No, I mean, I'm not even like dating right now. Like I'm just like every time I even just like, oh, like maybe I'll give this guy a chance. And it's just like, man, I'll never hurt you the way that your ex hurt you. I'm gonna hurt you worse.
No,
I'm gonna hurt you
right.
differently.
No, right.
And I'm just like I just cannot be dysregulated, because it's like I'm doing something that's so heart-led, and if I'm just like, if I feel it here and I'm just like, God damn it. I also have ADHD, so I hyperfixate. I'm just like, if you didn't text me in an hour, I'm like, all right, well.
Me too, yeah.
Yeah. So you hate me.
Yeah, you hate me.
So you hate me and I hate me.
Yeah,
That's
like,
great.
but you're watching my stories, but then you're liking my stories, but you're not texting me, and I'm just like, I can't live like that. I'm
No.
just like, that is a not. If I am in that energy, I'm like, that is definitely not a masculine man, and then also is not like the man that I'm meant to be with will not have me looking to see if they were watching my stories and all that.
Right.
Like,
that's
come
insane.
on. Yeah.
I have to tell myself that though.
Yeah. What is your love language?
My love language is quality time.
Yeah.
I think that's important. Like I don't need like words of affirmation. I mean, acts of service is nice too, because I'm such a doer, and I'm like, I would love somebody to do things for me. But I like dated this guy that was too much into acts of service, and I'm just like, I don't need a houseman. Like I don't need a housemaid. Like he's like doing my laundry, and I'm just like, but then I'm also still in my masculine energy, because he's just like, all right, what can I do next? And I'm like,
Waiting for his next text.
Yeah, no, I can't do that. Like you need to also have your own life. But but yes, definitely quality time. A little bit of acts of service, but I think that's important, because my time is very valuable, and I love to do things with my partner, and like even like travel, go out to dinner, like even just chill at the house, order food. Like I just like to be with my person.
Yeah. quality time for me too. I love that.
Thank you so much for being so open and taking the time.
No,
and being here
seriously. Thank
you so
and
much for
spilling the
having
tea with us. You are so amazing.
Yeah, so inspiring. I think, seriously, back to the divine timing of it all, I feel like this connection was meant to happen. You are such a light, and again, so inspiring. So
Thank you so
we look up to you.
much. Thank you so much for having me.
Yes,
This
of
is
Of
so great.
course. And if you want to tell the people, where can they find you, where to download Roam app, all the things, what's coming?
Follow me on Instagram, on RoamCircle app. I'm also on Google Play and on the App Store. Tell your friends, share any city that you're at and you're looking for friends. I'm live everywhere from Mexico City to Lisbon, even here in Miami, Dubai. And we're growing really fast. And also, like, if anybody wants to partner in any way, like, I'm a huge believer is like women, when we support each other and uplift each other, that is how we become successful. So I'm
Yes.
like very big on, like, if you have something I can help you with, or you know, like, let's like build
Yeah,
together.
we need
Yeah.
each other.
Yeah.
So, Liz, thank you so much for your time.
Thank
It was an
you.
honor.
Yeah.
And until next time, I'm with her,
She's with me.
and you're with us.
Yeah.